At 4.
Hi, everybody. Welcome into News 2 at 4. I'm Erica Francis.
Another busy day. Hey, everybody. I'm Eric Egan. So we're tracking again news breaking from the state capitol. A controversial bust of Confederate general and one-time KKK leader will now be removed from the rotunda.
And Governor Bill Lee breaking his silence, finally answering questions about halting vaccine outreach to minors and the firing of the state's top vaccine doctor. Tennessee making national headlines earlier this month when Dr. Michelle Fiscus was terminated from the Department of Health. She says she was a scapegoat in the state where COVID-19 has become a political issue.
So there are several angles to cover today. State Capitol newsroom reporter Gerald Harris is live for us downtown. He will do that starting first with the governor's response. Gerald.
Yeah, Governor Bill Lee said he supports the decision of his Department of Health commissioner firing Dr. Michelle Fiscus. Now, this comes when Tennessee is just now reporting over 1,300 new cases of COVID-19. Governor Bill Lee is also supporting the ending of any vaccine outreach to minors.
There's been a lot of talk about that. Our Department of Health made a decision, and I support that decision.
Governor Bill Lee says the anger from lawmakers regarding advertisements his office approved that notified the public of vaccine eligibility for those 12 and older is the correct filling.
To make certain that to suspend for a period and make certain that we did not market vaccinations to children. So the suspension was of the marketing to children for COVID-19 vaccination, the vaccination program itself, and the distribution of vaccinations continues.
Governor Bill Lee is making his first public appearance to address the controversy and to make a rare push to encourage vaccinations.
Well, I think that we want to continue to encourage Tennesseans to get a vaccine. It's the best tool that we have to manage the COVID situation, the health situation that we have.
Lee, who has previously said that the Delta COVID-19 variant isn't a concern, is now facing a different reality and now a new concern with soaring COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations.
Right now, we have about 3% of our hospital beds are occupied by COVID-19 patients. So a very small majority of those that are in Tennessee hospitals are associated with COVID, but so long as there's anyone in the hospital, we want to continue to monitor and track it.
Lee, who approves of halting vaccine outreach to children despite leading a state with just 39% of the people vaccinated as we head into the school year, is taking responsibility for vaccine messaging.
I'm happy to take responsibility for the messaging. I didn't make the specific decisions about that. I didn't make personnel decisions in that department. That's not what a governor does, but I do.
Now, the governor there talking about Dr. Michelle Fiscus and the firing of her. Now, Governor Bill Lee did say that he did not have any conversation with the Department of Health commissioner about whether or not she should be removed. She's responding tonight at 6. Hear from her coming up. Reporting in downtown Nashville, Gerald Harris, News 2.
Gerald, thank you.